You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
This episode brought to you by PetFlow, the leader in pet food and supplies.
Hello, pet parents! I am so excited for this next show. If you've listened to me before, you will know I am a snob about some things when it comes to my pets and my house. What in the world are we going to talk about? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
It's the Daily Doorbusters from PetFlow, the leader in pet food and supplies. Opportunity knocks every day with hundreds of products offered at huge discounts. Up to 80% for your furry best friends. And delivered right to your door. Go to petflow.com/bestbets. These deals last for one day only, so act fast. 150 brands to choose from. Pet food, treats, toys, and more items than you can shake a tail at. And get free shipping on orders of $39 or more. A new deal every day. Get your paws on today's PetFlow Daily Doorbusters deal. Go to petflow.com/bestbets now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Werber from Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff here on Pet Life Radio. We want to hear from you. Listen in. We're on every Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on PetLifeRadio.com. We are one of the only live shows on Pet Life Radio, and I'm here to answer your questions. So you can call in at 877-385-8882, or you can drop me an email to drjeff@PetLifeRadio.com, and hopefully we'll see you here on Thursdays.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited. I have a great show today. Okay, most people, when they say vacuums, think, ugh. I think, wow, yes. And I am a vacuum snob. I'm, very picky with my vacuums and what I like. I'm just a vacuum snob. I am so excited to introduce David Williams. He is the Senior Product Manager of Home Appliance from Panasonic, and Jeff Vogel. He is the Senior Marketing Manager from Panasonic. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Morning. Now, most people, most of my pet parents out there, you have pets, you have hair, and it's just how it is. Even if you have a short-haired animal, there's just hair, and you need a really good vacuum. And I have always had long-haired dogs, so that means I have to have a vacuum. It doesn't matter whether there's tile in the house or wood floors. It doesn't matter. You still need a vacuum. And I have a thing with vacuums. I'm a snob. I like the best. I like the vacuum that's going to pick up. I like suction. Now, there's something really exciting that Panasonic has come out with vacuums. Can you tell my listeners a little bit about this new product?
Sure, Michelle. This product, which is we call it the JetForce, it was kind of an interesting evolution. We weren't really thinking about pets specifically when the vacuum was developed, but the products we had on the market were all very fully featured and multi-purpose and could clean your entire house, but there was a size and a weight to them, and we could tell by people's response to those vacuums that they liked what the vacuum did for them, but they felt that in some cases it was a little bit heavy or hard to maneuver because of its size and its weight. So we thought, well, let's bring out something that's smaller and easier to maneuver and easy to handle. And so we made the body smaller, including the cup. And when we made the cup smaller, one of our concerns was, well, gee, will it hold as much as the larger cups will? So we developed this technology, actually a compaction technology, which is the hourglass-shaped, Michelle, that you see in that cup. And how this shape works is as the air comes into the middle of the cup, since that area, the waist of it, is smaller, there's more air pressure, and then air wants to go from a high pressure area in the middle to the bottom of the cup, which is lower pressure. So it forces things down to the bottom of the cup. And we thought by this way, since a lot of the things that you pick up as, pet hair and dust and carpet fiber is kind of fluffy, we thought, well, this would compact this at the bottom of the cup, and in this way we could hold as much as we did in our larger cups. And so we had products that we developed for home trial for our employees. And I took one home, and when I used it over the weekend, I thought, oh my gosh, where's the wreath? Where's this wreath of hair? Because all of these cups have these screens in them with holes, and the holes allow the air to go through, but the screen is supposed to keep the large particles away from getting to the filter. And when I've used any of our vacuums or any brand of vacuum, they all have these screens. And with my pet, the hair would get into these holes and then would build around this screen almost like this wreath of hair. And, of course, that would restrict the airflow so that your suction goes down. But then when I would empty the cup, the stuff fell out of the bottom, but the stuff around the screen was just like a wreath, and it wouldn't come out. And you could shake it, you could bang it, you could reach up there, and eventually you kind of disassemble the cup and have to remove this hair. And when I took this home and when I took the JetForce home, there was nothing. There was nothing on the screen. So, the compaction was nice, but I said, hey, if pet owners would really love this, I think we have something here. And that was really the start of JetForce and how we thought that it could really help for pet cleanup.
That's really interesting, the technology side of it as a pet owner, as a vacuum snob. I just love how great the suction is and how great it picks up everything. And yes, very lightweight. But to backtrack a little, I think of Panasonic as electronics, and I don't know, vacuums did not come to mind prior to using the vacuum. But have you had vacuums on the market for a while now?
Panasonic has been in the vacuum business since 1954. Our positioning has always been to bring technology to life that makes consumers' lives easier. So whether it is cleaning up around the home as we do with our vacuums, or in the home appliance area that I work in addition to vacuums, we do microwaves and kitchen appliances, as well as all the great and innovative consumer electronics that I think most people recognize Panasonic for, our TVs and Blu-ray players and all those great home entertainment products. All the technology, research, and design that goes into some of those more familiar Panasonics, we take that same approach to making sure that all of our household appliances meet and exceed consumers' expectations.
Well, I was greatly wowed by this vacuum. Now, I have a preference myself. I know that many of the pet parents out there, there's a toss-up between bagless and with a bag. I just like bagless. Maybe I like seeing all the dust and dirt coming into the vacuum. Is there, from your experience in development with the vacuums, is bagless better for pet owners, or is it just basically a preference?
I think it's what you mentioned. I think it's the bagless gives satisfaction because people can see immediately the results and feel like they've done a good job because they can see that everything's in the cup. So that's really what bagless delivers. If you really went into the technology of it, the bagless has a little bit less airflow than a bagged product. So the bagged products technically out-clean bagless, but they don't provide the level of satisfaction that the visibility that the bagless products give you.
Okay, you're saying vacuums with a bag generally out-clean bagless?
If you do laboratory tests, the bagged products will generally pick up better than bagless because the airflow through them is more free, and airflow is really the key to, you can pick the dirt up with the agitator, but then getting it back into either the cup or the bag is the job of the airflow. And in general, there's more airflow. It's a simpler system internally than is the bagless, which has a lot of twists and turns inside the cup. So in general, bagless technically will outperform, but it's something that the consumer won't see. That would be deep inside your carpet as opposed to what you and I see on the top.
I can't see how I could get any more picked up, but like you said, maybe there's microscopic little pieces that I don't know about, and I just like instant gratification of seeing all the dust and dirt in the cup.
Sure.
Now, I also prefer bagless because I just think that it's easier to take care of, but this vacuum is, like you said, it's lightweight. It picks up even cat hair, even the little fine cat hair, which is always a challenge with all the cat lovers out there because it's so fine. How did that go into? Were you thinking of pets with the vacuum development, or was that just a side benefit?
Well, we think of pets for all the vacuums because, as you know, there's so much pet ownership in homes today. So that's a common pet cleanup is a common need that you have to address. And most of the ways that that's done today is there's a separate hand tool that's been developed that has its own little agitator in there to get at pet hair. Most vacuums will obviously get pet hair off of the carpeting, but it's in other areas like steps or furniture or bedding where it's difficult to clean. In particular, with the traditional dusting brushes or upholstery brushes, they don't do a good job at picking up pet hair. So these hand tools were developed which have a little agitator in them, and inside them there's a fan so that as air passes through, the fan turns, and there's a little mini belt that turns the agitator, and that agitation action helps get at the pet hair, whether it's cat or dog, on things that you don't, non-floor surfaces, like the things that I mentioned.
That's what I was going to ask about next. I live in a place now where there's some carpet. A lot of people have some tile, wood floors, but I still think you really need a vacuum because when you dust a floor, the dust just moves around. It's not all grabbed. So I just think suck it all up, get it out of the way. How can some of my listeners benefit from your vacuum if they don't have carpeting and they have the mindset, well, what do I need a vacuum for? I don't have carpeting and so forth. Maybe you can explain this.
No, that's a good point, and it is a need that, as you mentioned, you do need. For bare surfaces, you really just need suction. On carpeting and rugs, you want the agitation, but on bare surfaces, whether it's tile or wood, you really don't want the agitator to be in motion because it has a tendency to scatter the dust before the airflow can pick it up. So to turn the agitator off, this product has a switch which basically just stops the belt from rotating the agitator. And so you're only working with straight suction. Plus, since we know that, traditionally vacuum cleaners have had sort of hard plastic wheels for durability, but people don't want that hard plastic on tile and wood. So instead now we have rubberized tires on this product. So when you do use it on your floor or your tile or your wood, it is going to be gentle and soft and won't be scratching. And so the combination of the straight suction plus the softness of the wheels makes it a perfect vacuum for any wood surface or tile surface that you have in your home. So it'll help you do both. You don't have to have one vacuum for bare floors and a different vacuum for carpeting. You can have one vacuum do both and do it well.
And that it does clean up well. Now, one feature I like is the retractable cord. It's just easy. You don't have to wind it up. You pull it out, it retracts it, it's nice and clean and so forth. What was the thought behind that?
Well, most canister vacuums have the retractable cord because there's not a good place on a canister vacuum to wind the cord up. And on the other side, most uprights have had the outside winding cord, but depending upon the age of the user and whether you like bending down a lot, sometimes the winding of the cord on the outside can just be an inconvenience for people. And they know that cord reels are common in canisters, so why not an upright? And so we brought that technology to the upright so you can, if you're stooping over, you only have to do it once to pull the cord out. And the switch that rewinds the cord can be operated either by your hand or by your foot. And as you said, so it's just a convenient way of getting the vacuum ready for storage without all of the hand winding.
Thanks. We'll be right back after this short break. I want to tell you about our fabulous new sponsor, PetFlow. I'm so excited to have PetFlow as their sponsor. Now, what PetFlow does is they are a pet food delivery service, but not just that. What they also have, they have pet food, cat food, dog food. They have treats. They have even litter, cat litter. They have accessories and delivers right to your home. So you know how you forget to go to the vet sometimes to pick up food? Mr. Dennis has to have special food. I have to make a special trip to the vet. No more. I just go to PetFlow and order, no problems. They also have some great deals. They have something called Daily Doorbusters, and these deals are up to 80% off. You want to make sure to order right away because these deals don't last. They're only good for one day. Check out the Bully Sticks. They are fantastic. Even picky Mr. Z loves them. Now, go to petflow.com/bestbets and
For all the listeners of Pet Life Radio Best Bets for Pets, we have free shipping on orders of $39 or more. That's petflow.com/bestbets. Free shipping on orders of $39 and more. Be sure to check out PetFlow and be sure to check out the daily doorbusters. They change every day, so you want to make sure to order right away because tomorrow it could be gone. Thanks, listeners. Now come back and join me for the rest of our interview with the gentleman from Panasonic.
What is the care of this vacuum as far as, I know some other Bagless, you just wash the filter every so many months. Is it that simple?
It's that simple, yes. The filter, there's a screen inside the cup which keeps out large particles, but a lot of your smaller particles will go to a main filter, and that filter does a very good job of trapping those, of course, as it does, and almost like your dryer vent, it's going to trap the things it's supposed to. But then as it loads up with that type of dirt, you do need to wash it out, otherwise it will restrict your airflow and you will lose suction. But the filter is very easy to get to. It's right at the top of the cup. You just open up the cap of the cup. It's a round filter, which is spongy material, and just rinse it out. Let it sit out for overnight just to dry before you put it back in. And you're basically at that point you're basically doing the same thing as a bag owner would when they take the dirty bag out and throw it away and put it in a clean bag. You're basically refreshing the system by cleaning that filter, and so it's very easy to do.
That's another reason I like Bagless, because you don't have to deal with maybe I'm thinking of bags of old times with all the dust and everything else that comes out of it, but I'd rather just open it up over a trash bag, dump it all out, you're good to go. Now, one thing I discovered about your fantastic vacuum is that it's also quite affordable, which surprised me. The Bagless vacuums I know are usually quite a bit more expensive. How did you manage this?
Connection or in collaboration with the factory, we've been able to really keep in all of the most important features that consumers generally will look for. So we mentioned some of those already. The bagless design was important to us because so much of the market is trending towards bagless. But then we also wanted to include some of the convenient features, as you mentioned already, such as the automatic quarter reel. But then as we were eyeing the marketplace, we did feel that there was a sweet spot in that 149 to 119 product zone where people were looking for a brand that they know and trust but did not want to pay upwards of $250, $300. And so Panasonic really worked diligently to make sure that all the must-haves that the consumers were looking for in terms of performance and reliability, those are near and dear to our hearts and are engineered into everything that we do. And at the same time, we were really diligent as well as we were looking for this more lighter weight unit that we discussed earlier. Looked for things that we could do to kind of economize and keep the quality in, but only have people pay for what they really needed.
I was very impressed with the vacuum, tested it out. My crew is messy. There's a long-haired dog, medium hair, and a cat with more hair than I've ever seen on a cat they're all messy. They're boys, so sorry, I'm stereotyping the male animals, but they're just messy. And I was so impressed. And then I thought, well, let me see. I wonder how much this is. And I was shocked because you're a good couple $100 less than a lot of the other bagless that's out there that is in the same, quality of vacuum with the great suction and so forth. So I applaud Panasonic for keeping their price point so low. This is a super affordable vacuum that I think every household needs, because I think, as we discussed before, you need a vacuum to really get a lot of the dust and hair away. Otherwise, it's just, if you're doing a small surface, maybe it gets picked up. I don't even like using cloths to pick up dust. I prefer to use a vacuum. So in talking about that, what kind of attachments are available for this vacuum?
One of the things that we really feel is important to have in a vacuum such as this, and which will be appealing to your users, is the air turbine. And so this air turbine, as we talked about a little bit before, actually works. It has its own agitator. It can be attached to the wand and allows us to, whether we're trying to pick up hair off of a sofa, off of the bed, it's going to work to pick up those hairs. It will spin, and that's going to draw the hairs up from the material into the hose. We also have a crevice tool, which is really good for getting into the nooks and crannies, whether that's in the underneath the cushions of a sofa, in between the refrigerator and the cabinet. So we've got that nice tool that slides into narrow spaces. We also have an additional wand, which gives you some extra reach when you're working above floor. You need a little bit more reach than our natural arms have. You have this additional wand. So between the air turbine brush, the crevice tool, this additional plastic wand, and then there's also a dusting brush, which is really good for doing lampshades and other more delicate types of materials that they collect dust, but we definitely want to be gentle in our cleaning as well.
It's a great vacuum. I love the attachments. I think it does a great job in picking up dog hair, cat hair, which is something all my listeners out there with pets are nodding and saying, oh yes, this is great because I need something like this. Where can my listeners find Panasonic vacuums?
Yes, so you can find Panasonic vacuums. If we go to Panasonic.com, you'll find our full range of Panasonic vacuums there. Amazon.com is also another very convenient place to find Panasonic. And then in many of your regional and national chains, you'll be able to find Panasonic products.
What are the benefits of having, I talked before about some of the pet owners out there might say, well, I don't know if I only need a vacuum, I have wood floors, whatever, but there's a lot of allergens and microscopic things that I think, maybe it's just in my head, I just think the vacuum picks it up. Is this true for Bagless? Is it just my wishful thinking?
Yeah, there's what the vacuum picks up and what it puts out. And so our emphasis has been really on what's happening inside the cup. But then outside the cup, once the air leaves the cup, it's filtered again before it leaves the vacuum. And our vacuum uses a HEPA media filter. And the HEPA media filter basically is the same type of media that is used in air purifiers to capture the really fine microscopic particles that you and I can't even see. And not that the vacuum itself is necessarily an air purifier, but you want the air to be cleaner going out of the vacuum than it is coming into the vacuum. So it has its role in that air quality process, because when you do vacuum, some vacuums can actually take things that are in the carpet and move them into the air because of their exhaust system. But with ours, the combination of filters inside the cup plus the HEPA media filter, which is filtering the exhaust air, as I mentioned before, the air coming out of this vacuum is actually cleaner than what's coming in. So the vacuum does have its role in maintaining very good indoor air quality for those people who do have allergens and are sensitive to those.
I love that. So not only are you cleaning your carpet, your tile, your wood floor, your drapes, your sofa, you're cleaning the air. Even more reason to vacuum. Let's see, at this point, is there anything else that you wanted to mention that maybe we didn't talk about?
One thing that comes to mind, we've talked about the positive experiences that you've had, and obviously we at Panasonic are very proud of our product as well. But our JetForce series of vacuums all carry the Good Housekeeping seal, and so that is something that we're also very proud of. The Good Housekeeping Institute is an institute that's been around for a number of years, and many people are very sensitive to seeing or looking for that seal on products before they buy. Good Housekeeping does a series of individual tests on each and every product in order to carry the seal. It's an independent test. Panasonic does not have the ability to in any way influence the testing, but we do submit our products for testing just as a independent validator. And so again, we're very proud to say that our products do all merit the Good Housekeeping seal. So for a consumer, you know that it's gone through this additional level of independent testing, and then they also will stand behind all products that they test, and they offer an additional year of warranty on top of the Panasonic warranty.
I am so excited to have David and Jeff from Panasonic discussing the JetForce line of Panasonic vacuums. Listeners, as you know, this vacuum snob, I had a great time using this product. I loved it. Great pickup, great suction, and so affordable. You can find out more about this information on the episode page on PetLifeRadio.com. Just look for the Best Bets for Pets icon. I am thankful for everyone listening and sending your comments. I'd like to thank David Williams and Jeff Vogel from Panasonic for discussing the JetForce line of Panasonic vacuums. I'd like to thank my staff and crew, Mr. Z, Nikki, and Dennis, for leaving their hair all over the place and allowing me to do a great job in testing this vacuum. I was floored. It picks up so much. And I'd like to thank my producer, Mark Leonard, for making me and my guests sound fantastic. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, PetFlow, for the wonderful offer code for all of our listeners, petflow.com/bestbets, free shipping on orders of $39 or more, and for having such great value and great products that we can just have delivered right to our door. So thanks, PetFlow. Listeners, be sure to take advantage of the great deal by PetFlow. Just go to petflow.com/bestbets, free shipping on orders of $39 or more. Thank you so much for listening to Best Bets for Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Keep listening for more great products for your pets. Till next time, take good care of your pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.